Hey, thanks a lot for checking out the videos. Barry here again. Hey, I want to take a minute about what I do for you as a coach, straight up. Okay. Obviously, there's a walk-in program where we kind of determine where you are. It doesn't take that long to figure that out. Get you, depending how much work you've done before or have been doing, training you've been doing, it's accelerated. We determine power zones that we figure on, both of us, and then we start to build your workouts into a Training Peaks platform. Training Peaks then will, any workout that I build, and I hand build my workouts, a lot of them I have them in libraries, obviously, and then I have many hunters for all different types of training. And this can be done indoors or outdoors. It's dependent on the terrain that you live at and how good you are at power discipline. But we load these workouts in, and then they simply come over onto, excuse me, onto say your Garmin device, your Wahoo device, whatever you have for a computer, bicycle computer, and you ride off of that. If you ride on Zwift, if you ride on Rouvy, you can do them on there. That's another story that I will go into in another video about what I do for people who do a lot of virtual riding. I do a lot of that myself. So it's not as militaristic or scary, but the key is that when you and I meet, I many times will just meet with my people once a week, and if there's nothing they need to go over, once a month I do a review with them, a power review on WKO5 or everything that they've been, all their areas that they were trying to get and what they've been doing since, what their progress is. But we figure out, hey, okay, I got a business meeting on Tuesday, right? And I got to be there at 3 o'clock. And then I got to pick up Sally, and I got to take her and the kid to band practice, right? All right. Okay, well, then that day sucks. Like, best I'm going to say out of that whole day, maybe you get a 45-minute recovery ride, right? But we build around that. And there's ways to, there's 5 different ways to get to X. It just depends on how you react to that kind of training, but that's what we do. Like, that's the gravy of the money. That's what, if you're paying us to do that, I mean, that's our knowledge. Like, we can monitor you and be able to see when you are too stressed out. For example, if you use any Whoop device or anything for an HRV device, okay, you can see, like on a client that maybe you don't, maybe like you're talk to them once a month type of thing, but you text, and you start to see, you start looking at their notes, and like, oh man, I'm getting a little tired here, Well, then I start looking at their sleep, and I see they got like 4 hours sleep. I'm like, Sparky, you gotta get some sleep. And then maybe take a day off, recharge her up, and get her going. That's what you get with a coach. But what all that adds up to, right, is consistency. Consistency is the way this happens. If you're looking to lose weight, you didn't get fat in 6 weeks. Okay? So consistency, you consistently ate too much. That's why you're fat. Same in cycling. If you consistently work at it, just like bodybuilding or anything else, you're going to get better. I guarantee that if you coach with me or do a meeting with me, I guarantee you that you will say in 4 to 6 weeks to me, hey, man, you're totally right. I totally feel it. And I feel a difference. I've had guys and women, I've had guys that just simply sign up for, because they want to not get dropped in their group ride anymore. I had a guy that was a 1 back in the day, USCF days, my days when I was like 20, and he wanted to get back to that again. Now he's like freaking 60, right? Well, not only did I get him from not dropping a group ride, but I got him so that he would be able to lead the group ride, then break away from the group ride, and then he had to go into another group ride. So there's a big, there's a lot of stuff that you can accomplish from just an off the coucher, or if you want to go to the other side, I've had finished this year. I had an over 70-year-old athlete that finished top 5 at Fondo Nationals. I mean, that's pretty cool. But in the middle of that, I got cyclocross people. I got a triathlon, which I don't really do a lot of coaching on triathlon, but everything. So I have experience in training. I have experience in being an athlete from a distance runner. I understand how that all worked. I understand how it all works to go from 165 pounds to 210 with no steroids in like 4 years, and so just muscle. I also understand what it takes to lose all that and get back on a bicycle again. I've raced cyclocross successfully. I've raced crit and road to some, but didn't really dig it on my second turnaround at being older. But gravel I've done, I mean, all that. I understand the rights and the wrongs and what not to do because I've done it. So my throw out to you is, again, I guarantee you, you're not going to have a better, there's not a better deal out there. Coaching is really for people that want to excel because they're driven like that, like, you know, like the typical athlete's always driven to win or whatever. They have that winning drive, but they're hampered by their life, their lifestyle. And with the way that modern technology's out here with power meters and you know, glucose monitoring and lactic measuring devices and all this stuff, like, you can get a good person in really, really good shape with a good, decent bike and a power meter and a bike computer, like, if they follow the workouts. So you'll win. And Peaks, when I joined Peaks 4.5 years ago, Hunter Allen and Mr. Coggin built this whole program that all the other coaching is built around. I mean, some call it different names, but that's why I chose to approach Hunter and ask if he, you know, would take me on as a coach. And I was tutored by him, personally coached with him for, I think it was like 6 months of coaching, just to get me up and running. Then I had WKO5 training, which is just another level, which on a meeting I'll show you. And the glucose monitoring with his book, training with a continuous glucose monitor. I mean, it's just added another level. So there's a lot you miss. There's a lot of bro science. I ain't asking you to, like, I ain't digging in your pocket to take your money, but if you want to get better, I don't know how else you do it. Like, everybody else that excels to a certain level has a coach. I mean, drivers have coaches, motocross dudes got coaches, weightlifting guys got coaches. There's not too many people out there that are really excelling without them, but it's financially, it does cost some money, but the payoff is huge. And what you learn during that time is, if you pick it up, you learn how to coach yourself. Do you ever think about that? All right. So other than that, that's kind of a why you should coach with me. Thanks a lot. Take it easy. Bye.